For movie fans, summer is the blockbuster season. For video games, it's the fall. Between Black Friday deals and holiday gifts, the fall is the best time to release a video game. This year is no exception, and we're here to run down our most anticipated games for the month of October.
With NBA 2K17 and Forza Horizon 3 already being released to great reviews in September, the fall gaming season has started off strong. This will hopefully continue next week on the 7th with Mafia 3. While it may initially seem like a GTA clone, Mafia 3 is quite different. Taking place in a fictional, open-world version of New Orleans in the 1960s, players take control of Lincoln Clay, a Vietnam War veteran seeking revenge against the mob that killed his friends. Between the distinct setting and playing as a black protagonist, Mafia 3 is looking much different than most other open-world games, and I couldn't be happier about that. Releasing the same day, Gears of War 4 is Xbox One's big exclusive of the fall. I personally do not own an Xbox, but this game looks bloody, violent, and super fun. Taking place in a single night, the game can be played alone or with a friend. It also seems to be returning to the series' more tense, horror-themed roots. Hopefully this entry, which is looking good, will start the new Gears trilogy off strong.
With virtual reality becoming more and more popular, there is no better time than this fall for Sony to try their hand in the VR game. PlayStation VR will drop October 13th alongside a variety of games to be hyped about. Batman Arkham VR will let you live out your childhood dream of being the world's greatest detective. The gameplay will focus mainly on the puzzle-type modes we have seen in previous Arkham games. I, for one, cannot wait to put on the cowl this October. For all you Star Wars fans out there, Battlefront will also have a VR-compatible mode. The Star Wars Battlefront X-Wing VR mission will put gamers in the cockpit of an X-Wing to take on the Empire from the classic trilogy. Think of it as a throwback to the space battles of previous Battlefront games, except this time you are in the cockpit.
If it weren't for the $400 price tag, I would totally be getting a PlayStation VR. I demoed it in a Best Buy over the summer, and it was super fun. It really does put you in a completely new, different place. And with launch lineup games like Batman and Star Wars, it's going to be good.
Are you tired of boost jumps and futuristic weaponry? Do you miss the good old days of boots on the ground, real combat, and horse combat? Well, you are in luck because Battlefield 1 hits shelves on October 21st. The first-person shooter will take place in a World War I setting, which is interesting to say the least. In a war where most of the fatalities came from trench foot, I'm ready to see what DICE will do with the weaponry and technology of the time period. For those of you that played the beta, don't worry, the horses are getting nerfed. EA seems to have the upper hand on their rivals over at Activision right now, but we will have to wait and see what happens come late October.
Titanfall 2, another EA-published shooter, releases only a week later on October 28th. A sci-fi shooter with alien beasts and mechs sounds awesome, but this release date is a huge risk in my opinion. EA doesn't need two games competing with each other this fall, especially a week in front of each other. While their settings are totally different, they are both multiplayer-focused shooters. It would be better to push this to 2017 to give each game room to breathe. Nonetheless, with Titanfall 2 adding a single-player mode on top of the original's already great multiplayer, maybe this game can prove to be a success. Personally, Jacob, of all these games, my most anticipating game for October is one we haven't even talked about. Rise of the Tomb Raider finally comes out for PS4. It was originally an exclusive for a year for Xbox One, and it was a Game of the Year nominee. So I'm very excited as a fan of Uncharted to try out Lara Croft's new adventure.
I'm going to have to go with Batman Arkham VR. I mean, it's my most anticipated game in October. Nothing sounds better to me than putting on my PlayStation VR and being Batman for a while. I just hope that my roommate doesn't mind me screaming, "I'm Batman" or "Justice" every 5 seconds.
That concludes the games for this October, but it only scratches the surface of this fall games. Stay tuned for our November and December previews. But for now, enjoy fighting crime, riding horses, and being the Batman.